Do you know what the newest trend is in network marketing, in Monat Modern Nature specifically? It is advertising that the people who once were in the company who left because of tanking paychecks, a horribly misogynistic co-founder, somebody who makes fun of their religion, although this is a very religious company, that is now not a problem anymore at all, because now we're all able to get back to Monat because everything is so much better now than it was before, and everybody just returns. Really, everybody. We will take a look at an example of that today. It is all over social media. People are exchangeable. Their personal stories, of course, are also exchangeable. But overall, the overall idea is the same. Monat is so great. If you were burnt by it before, join now to be burned again. Hello and welcome to another anti-MLM video. I'm Christine. I'm glad you're here. I have extremely curly and frizzy hair today. I had to put it up because I dyed my hair yesterday. And that always means the day after I look like Lord Poof, Lady Poof, Lord Helmy, as if I'm wearing a helmet. That's fine. That's why I have it up in a bun, because it's really warm as well. But I have a good attitude, and I thought it is very, very fitting for this video, right? Frizzy hair, don't care. Thanks to Monat. We're not going to speak about the actual products today. They're a sideshow, as they typically are in network marketing, but people returning to Monat and promoting this left and right is something that I currently see a lot. Thanks to the algorithm on apps on social media, this is something that is now also excessively, being pushed out to me, and I wanted to share it with you. Lots of former shampoo dealers who were appalled by tanking paychecks, a horrible co-founder making fun of their religion, misogynistic to the bone. They're fine now. They're returning. It's fine. It's good. It's all good. It's all forgotten. We're returning to the cult. To the business. I mean, not me, but they. One of those examples, the most prominent one, I would say, or the most successful one in Monat, is Kendall Weldon. She is a former top distributor. She was in LifeWave and has decided to now return to Monat. LifeWave sells adhesive patches. They claim that it activates stem cells, it reduces pain, and it boosts energy through light therapy. There are ridiculous health claims she and her husband made, and they used her father-in-law's unfortunate health circumstances to advertise this ridiculousness. She is willingly sharing her comeback story everywhere. She's on opportunity calls, and she is aiming at distributors who might also want to return to Monat to make claims like, now it's really real. If you weren't successful before, if you've considered it before, here are a gazillion reasons why you should return. That is what she currently does. She is posting cringy things, the things she did before, just not selling patches anymore, but shampoo, and overall, of course, the business opportunity.
I'm back. Former $10 million earner here, Kendall Weldon. I am so excited to do this call Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This is the comeback theory, you guys. This is why people are coming back to Monat. We're going to be covering it. We're going to be talking all about it. Don't miss it. Invite your potentials, invite your friends, your family, your people who are interested in being a part of the Monat family. You are not going to want to miss this.
She is on opportunity calls, so it is pretty much business as usual. Like I said, she's not shilling those ridiculous patches anymore, but Monat again. And thanks to her, I would suspect, formerly big team, she was $1 million income earner, and she was also part of Monat's top 10 in some of those years. Thanks to her big team, I think she is now quickly back at the AMM rank. That is one rank below the car rank in a rather short period of time. There are others who pretty much post the same stuff, the same stories, the same slides, the same lives, and the same videos. Back to Monat. Here are the new perks. It didn't work out for you before. It worked out for you before. Then you can join now again. This is the new Monat, and you really got to listen to us now because we have so many perks we didn't have before, and you really have an advantage as somebody who was in Monat and now returns. So lots and lots of those posts, as we can see here as well. Monat's income disclosure statement is still the old one. They still haven't released the new one from 2025. I wanted to make this video and wait until they release that, but I don't know when that will happen. I'm currently filming on June 6th, and I decided, no, I'm going to film this video now. Unfortunately, the new income disclosure statement is not available to see if the income perspective is better than it was in the year before with all of the changes Monat made. So we can only speculate here. Unfortunately, I cannot show it to you. I will make very likely a dedicated video once that income disclosure statement is out, but it didn't work out for this video. I would like to show you the numbers for 25, but that is not possible. We will listen to another person. It's a 5-parter from somebody who, I'm going to spoil it, who was in Monat before and who now also returned. It's this story that I see on social media a lot. We will take a look at those 5 parts. It is pretty much copy and paste with, of course, with the exception of the background story of the people, but it is one of those trends. So let's take a look. Let's get started with part 1. I will pause it, I will play it on the side, and let's talk about why allegedly so many people are now returning to Monat.
All right, guys, if you want to hear the truth about why I stopped using money and doing the business, stay tuned, and stay tuned to hear the new opportunity that I am now doing. All right, I'm going to share a little story time. And yes, I'm sitting on the edge of my bathtub because it's the best lighting in my bathroom. So back in 2018, I started working for a hair care brand. This was after I lost my job as a police officer. If you don't know my story, I got injured on duty and I was forced to retire. It was either that or go back full duty, which my doctor said I was not able to due to a brain injury from getting hit by a car on a road job. So I had my first baby in January 2018, and in October 2018, I started working with the brand called Monat. I was also pregnant with my second and had no job and needed to do something from home. This was also pre-COVID, and not a lot of people were doing social selling at that time.
So much to network marketing is not preying on vulnerable people. I've said that in a members video that is probably now also up. Those stories always sound like you were vulnerable, you were preyed upon. To lose a job that you really like because you were injured on duty must be devastating. To not be able to do a job you really liked, you really wanted to do, then you have 2 children, and you're without what you consider a perspective. And then Monat comes around, you purchase pricey shampoos, and then you hope that you will be able to make a great business, a great income out of that for yourself. That to me is the definition of preying on vulnerable people.
I was definitely doing something new for me because I had never even done anything on social media. I had a private account before that, and
it was definitely a leap of faith, and ended up being pretty successful with that business. I grew a pretty large team. I earned a car through the company, had a large team of girls, which was one of my favorite parts of the business. There was like over 1,000 people on the team. We were doing like over 300,000 at one point sales in a month. So we sold a lot of shampoo, and it was a lot of fun. I earned a bunch of trips, able to travel a lot, speak at a lot of events. It was definitely very different for me, but it was a lot of fun. And over the time, I ended up getting very burnt out. I built my business in a way that was not sustainable for me, especially as I was growing my family and being a present mom. I got so burnt out, and some things had changed also with the business, and I just was done. I was done, and I was looking for literally anything else to feel that excitement again, like I did when I started. And I tried some other things, fell in love with a bunch of different products, started promoting other products, and when I stopped doing Monat,
I told myself, do I even really like these products?
Alright, the video was sped up midway through. That wasn't me. At the end of those parts, she always has suddenly music playing. I might need to tweak this for copyright reasons, but just know I didn't speed up the video. That's how it was. And I have to somehow obscure, very likely, the music in the end. But to summarize part 1, she was in Monat. She joined pre-COVID. I think that's essential. 2018, she was able to, according to herself, build a big team. She was at least at the car rank, which in Monat is considered a success. Kendall Weldon is now one below the car rank, thanks to her expertise in network marketing and her former big teams, I would say. That is the market mentor rank, and 0.16% of people in the company in 2024, so the not yet updated income disclosure statement, were able to be at that rank. She was able to join before the pandemic. That is super essential. She got burned out in the end, but she considers herself successful because she got a car. She and her team, her entire team, allegedly sold 300,000 over 1 month. That doesn't mean that that is the commission they made. That is the amount of product they might have sold, she and her entire team. So not just herself. And she was able to go on trips. She was, according to herself, successful in Monat, and then she got burned out and she was not happy with Monat, and that is why she left.
During the time that I stopped doing Monat and wanted to see what else was out there, I stopped using the products. And I even questioned myself and was like, did I even really love the products? Or was it just that I was making so much money and it made sense that I liked it?
Not just that maybe you didn't like the products because the products are not that amazing, but if you have to be a product of the product, if you have to purchase the products to sell them, because Monat doesn't sell them out willingly and freely, you have to purchase them. You need to use the products to show some alleged before and after results, and you have to promote them. That is also why people in Monat use those products regularly, and I understand why you might want to question that at some point and think, did I purchase all of those pricey products because I really liked them? Or is it because it's pretty much a necessity? Because otherwise I cannot sell the products.
And I questioned, am I just being brainwashed? Like, I haven't even tried any other products in however many years, 6 years or whatever it was at that time. So I stopped using the products, and I, for the first time in 6 years, started using so many other things. Ordered a bunch of stuff that everyone else was raving about, and I tried it, and it was probably like 6 months later. It's been over a year now that I ended up ordering Monat again.
That means that she started in 2018, she dropped out in 2024, and she started to use the products in 25 again.
I ordered the Bond IQ line and started using that and loved my hair again. I was at a family dinner at my mom's. My mom and my aunt were like, your hair looks great, what are you using? And I was like, I'm using Monat. See, I wasn't lying all those years. I really did love it. And I went back to use it. So
I don't believe these stories. I think that they're convenient to say, or it's a nice way. It's a very American way of making a conversation. Hey, I like your outfit, although the person hasn't really looked at you, but it's a conversation starter. Maybe she loved the products, maybe everybody recognized, but it is ironic how many people recognize allegedly the great products, the great hair, the great outfits, the great makeup, whatever it is you sell, somebody always has to very prominently recognize it. I tend to not believe those stories.
Secretly ordered them their stuff, sent it to them. My dad loves his hair growth serum. He swears by it. Almost 70 years old, not a product guy at all, if you guys know him. And he was always on me. Can you order me my hair stuff? It's helping my hair. It's making my hair be thick. I love my hair, which is so cute. So I would be secretly ordering him his stuff. I was ordering old market partners who didn't want to renew. They were like, hey, I don't want to do the business, but can you please just order me? It was like hair stuff and skin stuff. So
okay, I'm kind of confused because she stopped using and doing Monat, but she was still able to order. That sounds to me like she still had an account. And if she's able to purchase products for herself, she gets them at a 30% discount. And if she's able to order for other people, then she's able to make commission. I'm kind of confused if she ordered through herself. It sounds to me like she still had an account, and therefore she was probably also still able to benefit from her team. If you purchase a certain amount of products, that also monthly counts towards PV to still be able to participate in your team's efforts. Not sure, but she didn't say I placed an order as an outside customer, because otherwise other former customers or former distributors could do that just themselves. So it sounds to me like she still had her market partner account.
That's what I was doing for them while I was trying to find my footing somewhere else. I did not want to go back to Monat at all. I was just not happy with the opportunity. I felt like people couldn't make money anymore there. Even though I was doing okay at that point, bringing in new people, it wasn't fun anymore because I truly didn't believe that I could help them make money. And it was like really bothering me and not fulfilling at all. So in that time, I was focusing on our Airbnbs. We bought another investment property in Florida, as you probably have seen. And honestly, probably could not have done it if it wasn't for Monat and everything that I learned in Monat. And I know so many people that have started businesses now since then.
Who have successful businesses, and I honestly think they have a lot to do with the business and everything that we learned, and I owe a lot to the business, to Monat, because of that.
Yeah, it would have been nice to understand also what she's saying there, but there's this weird music at the end. She, thanks to Monat, was able to invest in Airbnbs, I would say maybe thanks to your downline, and she claims that she stopped doing Monat because she felt like paychecks were down. That was not a feeling. A lot of people who left Monat and who are now with other MLMs or who stopped doing the business opportunities altogether said, no, paychecks were down. I make a fraction of what I did before. And when you took a look at the top 50 income earner lists of the month, some of the people at the higher ranks, I mean, the top people, it's always the same people. It's those who joined years ago, those who hold on for dear life to their teams. They're still there. But a lot of the people who joined the top 50 income earner lists in different months are people who newly joined because of this new opportunity. Well, it's not new, but because of this new compensation plan structure, you can make certain bonuses within your first 6 months when you newly join. That shows that Monat at the time, and I would argue probably today, because there are still some people showing up who are in new territories, who newly started doing Monat, in my opinion, that it's not a great opportunity if the newbies are in the top income earner lists. It means it is not sustainable and the paychecks were down. I made a good amount of videos. I will link the Monat playlist up here if you're interested. There are lots of people who said, yeah, my paychecks were tanking left and right. I got less and less commission. And she claims that she felt that was happening to her team, to her girls, but she was doing all right. But that ultimately also means that she must have seen that in her paychecks and therefore decided that maybe it's not worth the effort anymore. Because if your team is not making the money anymore, their paychecks are tanking, they're not making as much commission, their teams are shrinking, then her team, her commissions, and her paychecks are also shrinking, because that is all connected to each other. Let's take a look at part 3. Still with that cringy music at the end.
I was doing some social selling in that time, and just nothing really felt the same like when I was doing my Monat business. And literally every single day I get asked about my hair. And in my head I'm like, yeah, I know the products are great, but the business is not there.
She has beautiful hair, but she obviously also puts a lot of effort into this. It's not just thanks to Monat hair. She makes an effort to style her hair, to maybe dye her hair, to have professional hair care, to have a hair care professional also cut her ends, to, I don't know, cut her bangs or her layers, whatever it is. She puts effort into this. She had a round brush and now she's curling her hair. If you make an effort, your hair looks better. Let me tell you, as somebody who doesn't put an effort into her hair, with the exception of dyeing it. In case I have dark spots on my ears as well, I dyed my hair, as I said yesterday, and I had some in my ears, so ignore that. We're not going to zoom in. That's why we're zoomed out a lot today. If I look a little bit Dalmatian-like, that's what it is. That's pretty much top of what I do. Put some oil into my ends. I don't make an effort. She obviously does. And she was not congratulated on her beautiful hair before. I mean, she was in Monat for 6 years, where she also used the products. I don't know. I'm missing something here. She has beautiful hair, and she's obviously making an effort now, again, to also style it and present it in a certain way. But that is thanks to the Monat products that you use now. Do people really regularly every single day come up to you and say, oh, your hair looks beautiful? Or is it convenient to say it because now she's, surprise, spoiler, she's selling Monat again because she's one of those comeback stories?
So the business wasn't there, even though I love the products, and that came naturally, which I was happy about, because I was like, I did this for far too long to actually not really like the products and go and move on to something else. Like, that says a lot about what I was doing, and so I'm happy that I did love them.
Yeah, it's probably weird to figure out, do I really like the products or do I have to pretend? Some people who left Monat said, hey, the products were fine, but I felt kind of dirty and I felt kind of weird because I had to oversell them because they were fine, they were okay, but they were not worth the price. That's what lots of people, top people also said yeah, I didn't lie that I didn't like the product, but I had to oversell them. They were too pricey for what they were.
But recently, Monat did the right thing, and they have changed so much. Everything that stressed me out back then, they've changed. And I was telling some close friends, and their jaws were on the ground. I was like, one, you don't need to have a flagship. So that was one of our frustrations with VIPs that we'd hear from and deal with all the time. They would want to try the products, but they didn't want to have a flagship. So now you can order the products. You don't have to have a flagship.
Imagine that. You have a VIP program and you didn't have to order, but you had to have, you could push out the orders, but if you forgot, you were shipped the products. I can imagine that it's extremely stressful for the market partners having to deal with that VIP program. Why did it take Monat such a long time to change that? Because at some point it was a necessity. If the distributors leave left and right, the VIP customers are not happy. Those are very likely the ones that might turn into distributors at some point. Monat had to do something. If they really listened to their own distributors, they could have changed that a long time ago. That is a major complaint from lots of people who were or who are in Monat. Those flagship orders. It's still a pricey program, right? So thank God we don't get shipped out stuff we don't necessarily want, because we're not being forced to push out those flagships, those regular shipments, because otherwise the credit card gets charged. That sounds extremely annoying, and it was about time. Why did Monat change it? Because they had to, because their business is tanking and people were leaving. That's what I believe.
Also, customizable product packs. We were asking for that for years. All of us, all the directors were always saying, can you please get a product pack that can be customizable? So when
imagine your top people, the top people you allegedly care so much about, the people who have the biggest teams, they've been telling you for years, it would be nice to have this, because if we have product packs where the customers, they can exchange the product and they can customize it to their liking. Imagine Monat not doing that. Imagine. Why are we doing that now? It also exposes the lies that the Urdaneta family and Monat care so much about their own distributors. Why did they change that now? Because they had to. Because the people were leaving the company. It's not about caring about the people. It's that sales is down and they had to do something. They're outing the company for the BS that the company is again and again and again. Because we have heard over the years that Monat and the Monat family and the Urdaneta family, they're so good to their own distributors. Well, obviously not. If you have to beg for things for years and it is only happening now.
all of us, all the directors were always saying, can you please get a product pack that can be customizable so when people start their business as a market partner, they pay the price, they get their full bottles of shampoo, but they want to customize it because that's the whole point of the hair care line is they want the products for their hair type. Now you can. You can customize it. I'm like, oh my God. That's what we've been wanting. Next, TikTok Shop. They're now on TikTok Shop, and I don't do TikTok. But I don't know if I say this, but I'll put a disclaimer. There's girls making $70,000 just from TikTok. Okay? Like, that's insane. And they also are partnered with Meta, so they can now link your product and then just shop. Real quick checkout, Apple Pay, done.
That's another avenue that Monat is going. They're banking on social media. And did she put a disclaimer in there? I have to take a look at the text later. You don't make a lot of money in Monat. Most people, according to their own documentation, they lose money and are at the lowest rank. So the people who are maybe able to, in a month, make 70,000 or sell products worth 70,000 on TikTok Shop, those are far and few. It's a handful of people, but Monat yet again had to do something, and they had to include social media and an easy order process, and they're doing that via social media. You cannot recruit people that way, but you can sell, and for some people who already have a big following, it sounds like it is easier to do, and you can actually utilize social media and be this fake influencer or be an actual influencer and also try to show the products. You still have to buy into the business model though, otherwise you won't be able to do this Monat business.
So I didn't do TikTok, but I'm gonna do TikTok because that's insane. Because if you're already consuming content and if you're already making content, why not partner with a company that's gonna pay you up to 45% commission? And people can just click and shop from your video. And your video can keep going and going and going, making you money online. You don't have to answer a bunch of DMs, like be in your DMs and answer questions all day or do quizzes. Oh my God, the quizzes. You guys know.
Now, go on and look at the quiz. I did the hair care and skincare quiz. It's so simple. It's true.
All of this sounds like low-hanging fruit to me. Imagine we now have a customer program for VIP customers that is more appealing because their credit cards won't be charged if they don't push out a recurring order. You can now also pay via Apple Pay and Klarna. They really advertise that. It's like, yeah, you want to purchase products, you can now also pay in different ways. It's like, ooh, congratulations. And they do utilize social media. But all of this sounds very much like a fairy tale as well. I am not on TikTok Shop, but I will start now. If somebody is able to make 70,000 in a month, then of course I would be insane if I wouldn't do it. You still, if you start social media, if you don't have a following, if you have a following thanks to certain topics you post, you still have to acquire an audience who is interested in purchasing the products, or you have to build your social media. So how likely is it, unless you already have a significant following somewhere, to say, why don't you go on TikTok? I'm also selling these products now via TikTok Shop. You still have to build a substantial social media following, otherwise you will not be able to make a commission. It's a smart move, especially to attract younger people and also to make their own distributors more interested, but you gotta produce a lot of content and you have to build a social media following, people who trust you to buy from you. And once people realize, oh, you're not just selling the product, it's a network marketing company, you still need to buy into that system. You still need to buy a product pack. You still have regular expenses. You still need to replenish the product, and you still need to purchase and repurchase other products if you don't just want to offer hair care. They also have supplements. They also have makeup products. You will purchase a lot of products, and then you're not just you are a fake influencer in my opinion, but you're not just this influencer because you need to purchase a lot of products and you need to join a network marketing company. And if you don't see as much money coming in return, you will lose money, as do most people in Monat who are at the lowest rank. If they purchase a starter pack, most of these people are already in debt. That is why it's not social selling or being an influencer. You're still joining a network marketing company.
I did the hair care and skincare quiz. It's so simple. It's true. It works. Now, before we used to have to do our own because it just wasn't recommending the right products. Now you can do the quiz, gets emailed to you. You could then shop right from that cart and not have to ask a million questions. They just email it and they can go. So then recently I was cleaning out my closet and I found a bunch of the skincare samples that I had like hoarded away. And I was like, oh, I've tried, again, so much skincare. And I was like, let me go back, go through these samples, try some stuff that I used to use. And yep, loved it. So now I gotta order more of the Monat skincare that I used to use, all the serums, the C Radiance, the Rewind, the moisturizer, the Eye Smooth, like, oh, it felt so good on my skin, and I'm like, I knew it. I wasn't lying. I really did love everything I was using. I used the makeup, I used the hair care, the skincare, and it was legit. So I know one of the questions I'm gonna get is, do you regret stopping? And the answer is no.
She uses a lot of products. That's what I just said before. You don't just use the shampoo. You gotta test out and you gotta try out and you gotta use all of the other products. And in some way, shape, or form, you gotta promote them. So you better love them and tell yourself why those products are good. Look, it's a moisturizer from Monat. You know what? My skin feels moisturized. It's pricey. It's a pricey endeavor, unless you are at one of the director ranks. Unless you have a significant team and a significant income, that is a pricey endeavor, as is typical in Monat and in network marketing.
I do not at all. It's what I needed at that time. It helped me in so many ways. Like I said, I was burnt out. Like, I had to stop. I was able to see other companies, other products. Like, I wouldn't be where I'm at coming back so 100% not questioning a damn thing. And trust me, you guys know, I'm sure you see, there's so much people that hate on Monat, and sometimes you start believing it and it starts getting in your head. And I've been there, and that's not where I was at when I left. It was for other reasons, but now I can truly say that I do love it and it works. And guys, these aren't extensions. This is all my hair. So
she has beautiful hair, but the things she described before in parts 1 to now 4, she said, I was burned out. Well, I thought that was this magical enterprise. She wasn't able to work in her former job as a police person. She wasn't able to cater to her children's needs at staying at home. And now Monat came along. So it sounds like it wasn't that mythical. It sounds like it's not that simple. Also posting on TikTok Shop or on social media, because how do you make money in Monat? By acquiring a big team, and all of that needs to be managed. And she was burned out after years, after 6 years. That will very likely happen again, because it's not just about selling some products. It's still the same concept. Building a big team, now also catering to people who once were in Monat who want to return. That is still the same structure. That is still the same thing. And like she said, the paycheck was tanking. For her team, allegedly, she was fine. But if your team members are not making the income they made before, then also the upline, in that case, she also feels it. And maybe she doesn't have any other alternatives. Maybe she thinks she can go back. Maybe somebody pitched this to her because it's out on social media, and maybe she believes it is easier for her to acquire her old team and her new team by trying to utilize the new tools Monat is offering. That is why I would have loved to have access to the income disclosure statement. Monat stopped mentioning and stopped showing us how many distributors they have overall in the United States, for example. And I loved those numbers because it showed that the numbers were declining rapidly. I would love to see that information, and I would love to have access to the 2025 income disclosure statement. It would have been wonderful, because that is proof and not, I feel people were not making as much money as they did before. It's not a thought, it's not a feeling, it's facts. Either you made as much money as you did before, you made the same amount, or you made less. It's facts, it's numbers. You can easily look that up. I would have loved to see that.
So now people can do the business, or they can just want to sell the products on TikTok Shop and make a buttload of money. And I'm here for both. Like, if you want a team, if you want the community, I'm here for that.
That was the same before. You have the potential to do the business, aka recruit, or just sell. But people in network marketing companies make most money not just by selling the products, whether they sell it in person online or on social media. The old income disclosure statement showed that clearly most people, the far majority of people in Monat, they don't make 70,000 bucks and more. So it looks like it is not that easy, even if you can now sell on social media. Everybody tries to sell on social media. The market is flooded. Monat has a bad name. Monat is a network marketing company. Network marketing companies have a bad name. It is not that simple. And you were able to before as well decide to just sell the products. Why don't the top people do that? Why do people aim at becoming a director? Because that's where the money lies, and not just in selling those products. In Monat, if you are at the lowest rank, you just sell the products, and the requirements each and every month, they're very clear, they're very straightforward. You have to sell a minimum amount of product and then you get the commission. So why bother and recruit a lot of people who have to hit certain ranks, who have to hit certain requirements, who have to hit certain personal volume, downline volume, group volume. They have to be structured in a certain way in your organization, in your downline tree. Why bother and do that when also years ago you were able to just sell those amazing products at the lowest rank? Exactly.
And I'm here for both. Like, if you want a team, if you want the community, I'm here for that. That's what I missed. I miss mentoring, but I'm also not going to handhold and do what I did before. I have a bunch of boards. I have a bunch of group chats to plug you into. You can get what you want out of the business, and I'm here to, help you with your content and help talk to you about what you need. But, it's such a simple business. You have to get out of your own way, make the content, show up, and if you want to
do that, I'm here to help you grow your team. If you want to just sell the products, like I said, on TikTok, link it here and there, I'm down for that too.
I truly think this is the best opportunity out there for people like me who are busy moms who don't have a lot of time but want something else for themselves, that want to make an income, who need the community, who want to have the flexibility to be with their kids and do school pickup and do the things that you want to do in your own time, but still have something for yourself. And I've done it before, you can build it up and make a real income with it. And let me tell you, those checks are real. I made, again, I'll put a disclaimer, but I made over $500,000 selling hair care in the past, and I stopped because I stopped believing in it. But like I said, so much has changed, guys.
I thought she was burned out and paychecks were down, or she felt paychecks were down. That doesn't mean that you stopped believing in it. You didn't make that much money anymore, and that's why you looked somewhere else in the hopes that somewhere else you were able to make more money.
And I'm excited. If you're looking to get back into this, if you're wanting to start over, if you want to pick up where you left off, let's chat, because I am excited to add this into stream of income. It's one of those businesses you just have in your back pocket everywhere you go. Your hair looks good, your skin looks good, people are going to ask about it. You don't have to be a salesperson. You don't have to bother people, your friends and family especially. You don't need to. Anyways, that's what's been new with me. That is my announcement. If I've said I'm starting a new opportunity, it's because it is new. It is brand new to me because it has not been like this in the past. So you're going to see a little bit more hair content, but mostly you're going to see me showing up a little bit more than I was. Hope that's okay. But like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to love my hair again. I'm excited to help people again. And if you're questioning the products, hold on.
I mean, come on. Like, natural hair, no extensions, super healthy. Like, that's
Crazy. No extensions. I haven't had my hair professionally done in probably a year. Ask my girl Lauren. All this light is coming through. I need to get it dyed. But I've been using these products for back over a year now, and you cannot deny
that it's the goal. So, alright, have a good day, guys.
She dyes her hair. She allegedly hasn't had her hair professionally worked on for over a year, but she pretty much just spent, 30 minutes styling her hair. It's not just the product. Okay, she just posted to see the full income disclosure, Google Monat income disclosure. Link it. It's not that hard. Link it. It's incredible that people who join again to see the full disclosure, Google Monat income, she doesn't post it. People who return to Monat, they're not able to do the job properly. If you make income claims, they have to be truthful, and you need to link the income disclosure statement or show it, to just say, hey, if you want more information, Google it. Also, you can only Google the old one. But speaking of Googling it, let's show the income disclosure statement again to show what a great opportunity this now really is. This is the one from 2024 in the United States. Most people are at the market partner rank and they make $131 average annual gross earnings. Associate market partner, that is the rank that was newly added. That's why only so little people are at that rank. I'd be excited to see in 25 what that rank looks like. $971 median annual gross earnings, and then 2.56% of people are at the third rank, that is $1,473. Those people don't make a lot of money, and that is the vast majority of people. And the people who are at the director ranks, which you mentioned before, she very likely was a director before, that's why she mentions them. The AEDs 0.1%, the EDs 0.02%, the senior executive directors 0.01% of the people in the company who are actually able to make a substantial income. It's not sustainable because she also left. She said paychecks are down. Paychecks from her team were tanking, but she was okay. This is this new trend. Join Monat again. And I see this everywhere. And why? Because I believe Monat and the company is desperate. That is why they also changed. If you leave Monat, you typically had to wait 6 months until you were able to join again. They now lowered that to 2 months. So they're also aiming and they're also gearing towards everybody who might just have the slightest chance to join Monat. It is the newbies with this allegedly better new beginners program where you can make bonuses. Most people don't participate in these bonuses. They added an additional rank. 0.something% of people were at that second rank. We will see in 25 what that is looking like. Those people also don't make a significant amount of money. You're now able to sell specifically through social media, and that is what I believe Monat is banking on, to keep their own distributors interested and to say, recruit those who were in Monat before and stress to them why Monat now is better than Monat was when they were in the company. And we will see if it is working, because if this tactic is working, and if all of the changes that Monat started to implement over a year ago, they should also be present in the 2025 income disclosure statement. And that is why it's interesting for me to make a dedicated video and also to show, of course, the updated income disclosure statement. People are allegedly now returning to Monat left and right because now everything will be better. Let me know your thoughts. What are your feelings? What are the facts for you? I don't think that people are joining Monat left and right. They have some prominent people, some people who were formerly successful, people who still have access to a good amount of people who were in other network marketing companies, who were on their teams, and for them it is easier to sell because they already had a big team in Monat, in other network marketing companies, and therefore naturally they're now able to make more money than somebody who joins from scratch, who doesn't have a big team, who doesn't have a lot of influence on social media, who is not knowledgeable in network marketing. But I still believe that Monat is a tanking ship. They're trying to reacquire the former Monat distributors as a desperate attempt to bump up the amount of people in Monat. and we will see if it's working. Let's keep our eyes open for the 2025 income disclosure statement. If you liked this video, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That way you will not miss out on further uploads. You can like the video, you can share the video, you can comment below, you can also hype the video. That helps this channel out a lot. And if you liked this video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. The next regular upload is Friday at 1 p.m. Central European Time. Until then, tschüss!